You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
All right, we're good. Welcome into episode 55 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. I'm Drew Stewart here with Coach Espo and Matt Payne. What's going on, guys?
What's happening? We're doing all right?
Yes, sir.
We're doing as good as we can. Another week. Rough end to last week, but hey, ready to roll for a new week here.
Was it a rough end to last week, or was it a rough start for the week?
I count it as a rough end because my week really didn't start till I went back to work, which was on Wednesday. So we'll just say the week started on Wednesday. We'll get to that later. Let's not harp on that too much. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. I heard that Coach Espo has a ranking spiel, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Yeah, obviously we released the 26 rankings that came out. Obviously, we'll kind of go into some depth of that a little bit more next week and get some new things. But, we kind of get these questions. I know Matt probably gets these a lot too. And, for the tens of thousands of people that are listening to us right now, right, we kind of, our rankings, what goes into here's here, who's there. And one thing I think that separates us a lot with our rankings is we do, right, it's where you go to high school. Right, we had a little bit of turnover in our top 10 this year because we had some kids move to North Carolina that obviously impacted their rankings. And, we found this out kind of the last minute beforehand. So some kids go up, some kids go down. A lot of times it's not as much of a knock on a player, if he drops down a spot or two. It's more of he was graded out the same. Maybe we just had a newcomer into the area or somebody moved in recently that was – a highly ranked player somewhere else. But, that's the one thing that kind of affects, I think, our rankings more than a lot of other companies out there who do stuff is we get kids, both us and in North Carolina, right? A lot of the, we both got academies, but kids just moving in general. We had guys that would have been probably number 3 and a number 5 in our ranking, I think, that moved out of state. So, and then we had other kids move in that go into that one. So that's one thing, I get asked a lot, but just want to kind of cover it a little bit. It's where, for us, it's where they go to high school. So if we have a kid that has a Charlotte address, but he's at Legion Collegiate, he's counted as a South Carolina player for us. Same thing if we have a kid here that goes off, like we have in the 24 class, that's going off to academy up in Virginia, he's going to be counted in, once he moves up there in the spring, he'll be counted as a Virginia player. So it kind of affects our rankings, and I know Matt was dealing with it as myself the other day. Kind of, you start finding some things out of the last minute and having to kind of move and adjust things all over the place. So kind of wanted to throw that one out there while it was fresh in my mind as we're going through it, and some people were asking questions with that.
Yeah, no doubt. And the 26s had quite a shakeup due to some of those guys, leaving the state as far as that high school is concerned. And we'll kind of run through these a little bit with some high risers, some newcomers. We'll go through the top 10 like we did with 25's coach. Coming in at number 10, Hudson Clark from Berkeley High School, still in the top 10, down from 8, but he was a junior future alum 2 years ago, losing my years here. But we've seen him a lot at many events, right, Coach?
Yeah, he's a guy that caught our eye a couple of years ago when he was an 8th grader playing on the 5A state championship team, hitting, and was a junior future for us that year. And one thing he's always done when he comes to our events or we see him in high school or see him in tournaments, is just a young man that just hit. So it's a left-handed bat that's kind of been in the thick of one of the better teams in the state. So he's always been a hitter and continues to hit. And as he continues to grow and mature, looking for good things from him in the future.
Yeah. And you got Sawyer Smith coming in at 9, North Myrtle Beach High School.
North Myrtle Beach.
Watch out. He's committed to the Tar Heels.
He is. And obviously we can kind of turn this one over and let Matt fire this one, because he was actually, even though he's a South Carolina kid with his travel team, he was up at their top prospects event. And I know he did some good things for Matt in front of those guys there.
Yeah, he really stood out at our event. Athletic, play in the middle of the field. Just squared balls up in BP, athletic kid. A lot to like about his upside, and in the next few years for you guys down there.
Making
Maybe
some
we can get
moves
him
up
over to
from
one of our
14.
events. You know what I mean? Maybe we can get him over to one of our events here. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
We'll cross our fingers on that one. And then at 8, you go to Parker McGee from Lancaster High, middle infielder going to the Gamecocks. We've seen a lot of him too, another junior future alum.
Yeah, another junior future, and we got a chance to watch him right this summer at some tournaments and some play. And I'll get the chance to watch him Monday here at an upcoming Scout Day as well. But a young man that kind of had that baseball ball player about him, athletic guy, shortstop, has good clean actions. And it's funny when we saw those guys a couple of years ago, the junior futures, they're all a bunch of little kids. You kind of see him; he's starting to grow, starting to physically mature into his frame. So. A lot of good things from Parker, but that the athleticism and the looks like the ability to stick it short, even though he's still got a ways to go, but be able to stick it short is a huge bonus for him.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch as he gets older. And then his kid stayed at 7 the whole time, and it's Jackson Robinson, left-handed pitcher from TL Hanna High School, another Gamecock commit who I've seen perform really well at the varsity level for the Yellow Jackets throughout the years.
Yeah, I think we get this class is a little bit different, right? We've been getting a lot of social media responses with all the Gamecock fans out there. With guys in our top 10, but it's a left-handed arm that right. It's a mid to upper 80s left-handed arm already with pitchability, and has been in a lineup. Been in that pitcher rotation of one of the better teams up there in the upstate, and obviously he's going to be one of their frontline guys again this year with, obviously we'll get to this in the future, but arguably probably the most talented team up that way, or, wouldn't be, be one of the picks up there. So left-hander with good arm strength and pitchability. Those guys don't fall off trees too often.
He's on a team full of Gamecocks in the upstate.
Right. They're right around the corner from them Tigers too. So I'm sure that's digging some people.
You moved to, we're done with the Gamecock commits now. As you move up to 6 here, you get Jack Stepp, Wade Hampton High School, another junior future alum, left-handed pitcher, first baseman, going to the Tigers. We knew he had a somewhat of a down year considering his standards last year for his high school team, but expect him to make some strides going into the spring here.
Yeah, I mean, when we say a little bit of a down year, right? You had a freshman starting on varsity, hitting in the middle of their lineup, being one of their, supposed to be one of their aces. I mean, I don't care what high school you go to, you get a young guy like that, it kind of affects it a little bit. But he's obviously got the talent. It's a left-handed arm with a left-handed bat. The kid can run a little bit. So I guess we say he had a little bit of a down year, but again, it's still a young man that was expected to carry the weight of a varsity team with. Heck, when these things come out at the end of the fall, another younger player than him that was also in the mix in that high school team. So we, left-handed pitcher and can swing it. Yeah, which way is he going to go? No telling, only time will tell. But obviously has the talent in there to continue to progress and be one of the better players in the state.
Yeah, he's impressed us at Junior Futures playing both ways. So we'll see how he does in this upcoming spring. And you move up to number 5 with Sterling Coaxum, 20. He's an outfielder going to the Tigers. Now a Hanahan, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think you switched back over to Hanahan. I mean, you're talking about tools and athleticism, right? We've had a chance to see him a little bit. He came out to the preseason All-State, and I think he was upset. He ran like I can't remember off the top of my head, maybe high 6'6" and 6'7". He was really upset with his time. And we're like, Sterling, man, it's winter, it's January, it's okay. Well, then he comes back right out, comes to Scout Day at the very end of the spring, beginning of the summer, and runs a 6'4" something, 6'5", right? I mean, like the tools and the tools and the athleticism are off the chart. I know there's some, a little bit of, his knock, I guess, would be a little bit of swing and miss in there, but obviously has all the tools, has all the athleticism to continue to progress and go in the right direction. But when you got speed and you got ability to hit for power, along with some contact in there and start spraying around the park, and we know younger guys that got some pop, a lot of times that's all they want to do. When he starts to figure out that being a hitter first and the power is going to come, the sky's the limit for this young man.
Yeah, he's got a chance for sure. Then you move up to number 4. This is your high riser right here. The next two guys will go over high risers. Up from number 28, who has increasingly impressed us over the this summer and spring, and that's Banks Wickersham, Fort Dorchester catcher, uncommitted. Coach, we know you like him.
Yeah, but I mean Banks, he's like you said, he's impressed us from the get. We got a chance to watch him early in the spring, right down at the preseason tournament, and he's playing second base, and we're like, man, this guy
Yeah.
looks pretty good. He can hit a little bit, this guy's going to be a guy to follow. And then we see him at the beginning of the Team Carolina trials, right? We see him down in College of Charleston down there. We had an event down there, and we're like, is that the same kid? He's grown. He's much bigger. He's stronger. And he's behind the plate. He's firing balls, hitting. Then he comes back to, we get a chance to watch him again a little bit in some more tournaments during the summer. And then we get a chance to watch him again at the top prospects. And, I mean, pop time, it's a 1.82 to a 1.94, good arm strength. Obviously not, it's a catcher, but it's still a 7.2, 7.3 runner, not bad. But it's power in the bat with big-time bat speed. And we, I've told people, I said, if the rules hadn't changed, this kid would 100% be committed.
Yeah.
By now, he's had a bunch of interest. He's gone to some college camps already. I think we rank him up there. We think the world of him. We think he's obviously got a bright future. He's going to be a number one type of catcher for whoever gets him for many years.
Oh my gosh, Hops on the mound. He's 87 back in the summer when we're watching him. So it's like, there's athleticism, obviously. Then you move up to 3, another very athletic player who's tooled up. We've seen him perform at the border battle. Matt's seen him. And that is Ethan Offing, up from 15 at Dutch Fork, shortstop, uncommitted, plays football. I think he's QB1 at this time. He was 1.5 in the summer, but now I believe he's QB1 at this point.
Yeah, he's I would say, for him, fortunately, he's now QB1, but for his predecessor there that took the injury, not too happy there. But Offing, right? I mean, we saw him last spring, right? Remember at the Forest Acres Classic? We're out there the whole time, and it's like, right? It's not hard sometimes. You see this guy, you're like, who's that guy? It's short, right? And come to find out, right? He's a freshman. He's coming from football workouts, and obviously Dutch Fork is one of the perennial powerhouses, not only in the state, but in the Southeast and in the country. And they run their football program like a college one. So he's running back and forth between football practice and baseball and getting his reps in. And then we get a chance to, we get him down to the border battle. And right, I mean, it's, again, defensively, you watch the actions, you watch him run. It's a 6'8", 6'9" runner, very smooth, very athletic. And then boom, gameplay goes double off the wall, opposite field, shows the power. And then we see him in the tournament down at the Shipyard in the summer, and he's tanked dead center at Shipyard, kind of just with ease. He's I had a conversation with one of his coaches last night, and it's the same thing. The way he moves, the way athletic he is, it's the only thing that might ever affect him, I guess, would be how this football plays out from a baseball standpoint. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed and for us to be able to get the clearance from that football. But he's definitely right now out, looking at a future gamer type for us. So he'll have a lot of people knocking at his doors when it comes time to be in their recruiting time.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch. Whatever way he goes there. And you go up to 2. 1 and 2 haven't changed, but we'll go with 2 here at Caden Glauber, right-handed pitcher at Catawba Ridge, going to the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a staff, right? Him and Jake McCoy on that Catawba Ridge, and I know we're leaving some other guys out, but I mean, it's an upper 80s, low 90, low 3/4 slot, kind of with ease as well too. I mean, it's not much effort behind there, so you're looking for still a lot more jumps, even at a young man with this age, but he comes out there and it just kind of fits, right? It's I always joke about it. Sometimes people get very in depth at breaking down somebody, but you go, "Ooh, that looks right." You can see that guy pitching on TV for a while. So, with that arm action and that build and that athleticism, you're going to look for more jumps. Obviously, fingers crossed that staying healthy this time. But it'll be that good slot with that athleticism. You're going to look up here in a couple of years, and it's going to be a mid to upper 90s arm.
Yeah, and you go up to another one that we're excited to see how he bounces back from injury is Carson Bowman, left-handed pitcher at Southside Christian, which committed to Wake Forest. We know he's really good. We've seen him. It would be interesting to see how he bounces back here.
Yeah, 100%. We got a chance the end of last summer, 2 summers ago, I guess now. I feel like still summer, 1,000,000 degrees outside. But, was right mid to upper 80s, left-hander with a plus breaking ball and a changeup. And with command, right? Again, left-handers, usually left-handers with a pulse that throw strikes get a lot of people out. But now you all of a sudden start throwing in a lot of stuff. And that athleticism climbs the rank. Real excited. He's already, he's signed up for the pro case already, so we're going to get our chance to see him here soon. In the next little over a month, we'll get a chance to see him out there, see him how he's bouncing back. But Bowman for us is he was someone that was on the radar that we were hoping a couple years ago to get him at the future games. Had some other things lined up, but we were able to get him at the top prospects and obviously a bright future for him going ahead. But left-hander with that kind of stuff and bouncing back from this injury, we're excited to see where he's going to be at.
Yeah, you'll see him at the pro case, which we'll get to in just a second here. That's the top 10. We're not going to dive too far into it. Obviously, the rankings are live now. So graphics out. Make sure you, as Austin says, have a subscription so you can see them. Since we're missing the vacation director today.
He's still on vacation.
Every day. He's always on vacation. He's got to teach the youth of America. But hey, we miss you, Austin. Not really. So we'll hop over to some upcoming events here. Obviously, we talked about the pro case October 10th in Lexington, Coach.
Coach, we're excited to get back there at Lexington Ballpark. Under the lights, last year we had a great, turnout from the scouts, had a great turnout from the players in the state. It kind of makes it a little bit more laid back, kind of a fun environment, right? We kind of give the guys more rounds of BP. We kind of give them a few more ground balls, kind of give them a chance to get those first initial looks from a lot of these major league scouts that come out there. So invites have been sent out. The requests are live to be up there. Go in there and request your invite, right? We're not just letting them all in this one, right? We kind of try to keep this. It's a smaller event. It's a stricter invite list on this one, but tons of talent last year, and we'll mix in also a lot of those P27 guys. Again, I talked with those guys yesterday. Some of these guys that are moving in that are going to be in that pro world here soon. So we'll get those out there. So we're excited for that event. It's a really good one. We're under the lights at night on a Tuesday night. Have some fun out there.
Maybe I will not lose my SD card this time after the event. We'll see that.
Yeah. Let's not. Last year you had the green screen set up. You had it all. You had all the good stuff going, and I think the lawnmower ate it. I don't know what happened, but it disappeared.
It's long gone. Long gone. We did get a few pictures, but not what we wanted. And then you go 5 days later to the senior games at Francis Marion.
Yeah, and this year we're kind of doing a little bit. I guess it's all a little bit different for us. We didn't run one last year. But, right, we're going to have the senior games east at Francis Marion, and then the following weekend after that, it's going to be the west. Met up that's at Catawba. Is that right?
Catawba College, yep.
Catawba College up there. So kind of a little bit of a combo, kind of whatever works out best for North and South Carolina players to get to, or that date is going to work out. But kind of fired up. We had a lot of interest last year, and it kind of fell apart with some facilities late getting that thing in. But kind of the end of the fall, kind of the last crack for a lot of those unsigned seniors to kind of get out there and, kind of get seen, get their numbers up there with a little bit of with some gameplay action in there to try to give those names, whether maybe a last look for a school to see what they're at, or kind of get their name out there one more time before, the high school season to get coaches on board to come out there and see them. So we're fired up to get that. We had a ton of interest last year. We just couldn't get it off the ground and running, so we got it rolling this year. So we're fired up for that.
Yeah, 2 big events coming up in October. I'll be at both of them, Coach, just so you know. So you don't tell anybody any different.
About time.
We'll know about the other staff. But, hey, we do have one shout-out on this episode. Congratulations to Cole Canty on his commitment to the Citadel. He was a preseason All-State North participant as well as a Border Battle 2022. So big congratulations to him from
Hey,
Rock
are
Hill
we going
High
to go
School.
the same route? We're going to go the same route. We had a kid from Rock Hill High School commit to the Citadel, high draft
Oh,
pick.
watch out. I don't know.
Are we going to hey, do the
This
stars line
Rock Hill
back up for
graduate that's
Cole? I
going
don't
to
know.
the Citadel, this one didn't get coached by Stu, so I don't know if the odds are in his favor.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be on the outside looking in because Coach Stewie wasn't over there coaching him up. So in the
Yeah,
summer.
you know, things happen. Things happen. So now we will move to the most anticipated event of the episode, and that is the Week 2 Pick'em. We got Matt Payne from PBR North Carolina joining us today, be our guest picker. Matt, you got to beat 7-3. Sean's the top guest picker as of right now. I think that's beatable though.
Yeah, 8-2's in there pretty easily.
8-2, yeah.
Easily,
Me and Austin both have a win, but Austin's leading the overall records at 14-6. Coach, you struggling behind, but that Duke pick really helped you.
Coach, I told you I'm switched it up this year. I'm kind of going out on a limb. Obviously, I don't think it looked like I went out on a limb with that Duke pick after last week. After that game, it looked like it wasn't out on a limb. It looked like it was full bore on that one. So I'm kind of trying to switch up my picks this year and not trying to go with I'm trying to make some upset alerts. Give the people what they want. You know what I mean?
Give the people what they want.
There's a
So
lot of hate. There's a lot of hate on social media this week in the state of South Carolina. The great state of PBR North Carolina decided to whip up on the great state of South Carolina last week. So I think they are the football state for 1 week.
1 week anyway.
For 1 week, I think it might be for a while. So we'll roll into this. I'll go, then Sammy, then Matt, and then we will release Austin's family's picks that his wife probably made.
Again, I don't count it. He's out. He has help.
He's out. So we'll start out here with Vanderbilt traveling to Wake Forest. Wake Forest, 10-point favorites here. I got to roll. We're going to stick with the state of North Carolina. Give me the Demon Deacs.
Yeah, I got to go with the Deacs as well. I don't know anything about either one of them, but I'm gonna go Wake.
Wake Forest, North Carolina. North Carolina keeps winning in that
one. Here we go. Here's the start of it. Austin's family takes the Commodores from Vanderbilt to win this game.
The downfall starts
his
now.
His family's having a rough time right now, so he took the Commodores. While we roll over to pick 2, Notre Dame travels to Raleigh to take on NC State. NC State 7.5-point underdogs. I think the Irish roll big time here.
Whoa, roll, huh?
Roll.
As a Wolfpack alum, kind of hoping for a big game, kind of looking for a big win. I would have thought it would have been more of a score on that one, 7.5. I'd have probably thought Notre Dame would have given 14. But you know what? The hell with it. Wolfie's on top, baby. Let's go.
Wolfpack's first home game of the year. It's going to be sold out, rowdy. Pack upsets the Irish.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That 8-2 doesn't look real anymore. Austin's family here is rolling with the Irish too, to take the win. Hey, we move over to another. Well, here we go with another ACC SEC matchup. Texas A&M travels to Miami. Miami 4.5-point underdogs. Did you see that if you buy a ticket for that game, if you're a Miami fan, they're giving you a Georgia Tech Miami game ticket for free?
I did see that. I didn't know if that was real.
Oh, it's real.
I think it's real.
It's real. But you know what? Give me the U. The ACC continues.
Jimbo, I don't know if you say he's coaching for his job because I think that buyout's so big he's going to give like the Ed Orgeron, show me the door for my 17 million. Which door do I walk out? But I don't know. I'm just when you always want to kick A&M out of the curb. They say they're too bad, they ain't good enough. They find a way to do some things, and I think, and just like every time you want to go the use back, they're down this week. A&M, gig them, boys. And I watched Johnny Manziel the other day, so gig them.
Texas A&M returns a lot from last year. Love the athleticism, the experience. I think they win pretty easily in Miami.
That hostile environment down there where we're giving away tickets.
They'll be gone by halftime. Yeah. Gone by halftime. Too much to do in South Beach.
Hey, I like how Matt goes in depth with his picks, and Sammy's just like, screw it, I'm going with this one.
So what you do, baby? You figure it out.
Austin's family is rolling with the Aggies, too, so we saved our graphic with me picking Miami. But 3-1, that's just, hey. We got
with the family.
Iowa traveling to Iowa State. Iowa State 4-point underdogs. I don't even know if Iowa can still score points, but give me the Hawkeyes.
I saw something last week when they were talking about Iowa, and I guess obviously they've been complaining about their offense for years. There was a stipulation in the contract that they had to average like over 17 points a game for someone to keep their job. It's kind of a tough contract when you get in that one. I guess if you win, but whatever. I want to go with Iowa State. I think Iowa's going to beat them. Iowa finds a way to always start off hot and crumble. It's still early, so let's go with Iowa.
Iowa.
Austin's family is going with Iowa as well, so there's 4 straight across the board. Can't change your pick now,
Go
Coach.
ahead and bet your money on Iowa State, boys. Bet your money on Iowa State.
You go to Marshall at East Carolina. East Carolina 3-point underdogs. I think East Carolina's bad this year. Give me, we are Marshall. The herd, take it.
Marshall. I ain't got much to say on this one. We're gonna go Marshall.
I'm sure the Pirates will be rowdy, but Marshall had something to build on last year. Like Marshall.
We went away from the North Carolina school, but hey, Austin's got your back. His family takes the Pirates of East Carolina. He's like an underdog this week. That's why he continues to lose.
It was also the quickest picks in the history of picks that he sent.
Yeah, by the way, I think he went through every game and picked every game, and then he saw the ones we picked, so he was like, "Oh, here they are." That's what he did. He was prepared.
What was his quote to us? What was his quote? It's not. What did he say? If you're ready, what was it? I gotta go find it.
I can find it. He said, "If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready." Famous words.
Wise words from the
Mr.
wise
Smith. App State travels to North Carolina. North Carolina 18-point favorites. Tar Heels roll.
Tar Heels by like 50, I think, this game. I think they got some embarrassment last year. I know App State won last week, but it was a tight one for a while against the powerhouse of Gardner-Webb. I think the Tar Heels are Drake Mays. He's real. Their defense looks like it's much improved. So Tar Heels by 50.
Yeah, I think App State's playing a backup quarterback in this one too, so it might get ugly in a hurry.
Tar Heels across the board. Austin's family is going to roll with the Tar Heels as well. You go to Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 7.5-point favorites. Give me Pitt.
Is this like one of those borderline backyard brawls, kind of like fake like rivalries with some of the states over there.
Yeah.
Cincinnati making the move, obviously. New head coach. I gotta go Pitt. I'm just gonna take the home team just because it's a home team.
I got to go Pittsburgh in that one. I think it'll be close, but I think Pitt wins.
Another clean sweep. Austin's going to take Pitt as well. Well, we get into some clean sweeps here. But we get to an interesting one here with Texas at Alabama. Alabama 7-point favorites. This one took me a minute to pick, but you got to rely on Old Faithful. Give me the Tide.
Does Arch Manning get in the game this week? And by getting in the game, does Alabama hurt the quarterback again, like they did last year when they played? So I think Texas is Texas, right? There's athletes, there's tons of players, there's good. I think Coach Saban, I think them boys down there in Alabama, they got something to prove. People are kind of starting to write them off. Think the dynasty's over with down there. I think Alabama puts it on them. Tied for the win.
I like Alabama as well. I think defense has improved a little bit, and tough to win there. I like Alabama. Roll Tide.
Another 4 across the board. Austin's going to Roll Tide. I know that was hard for him being a Georgia fan, but he did it. He was that SEC fan for that moment, that pick right there.
He's probably mad we haven't picked Georgia on here yet.
Well, I don't know that we'll pick them all year.
I know.
I think they got a tough one this week. Some Sally Turner school. But we go to game. We go to game 9 here. Oregon travels to Texas Tech. Texas Tech 6.5-point underdogs. Give me Bo Nix and the Ducks.
Bo Nix has been in college for 14 years. He's like Stetson Bennett, right? I mean, they've been in there a while. The Ducks kind of, it feels like they got something brewing up there. I think they continue it on, and Texas Tech just don't quite have enough. Oregon Ducks for the win.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech lost to Wyoming last week. I'm surprised that line's not a little bigger, but like the Ducks in that one.
I was wondering why my son asked me if Wyoming was any good at football. I didn't even know that.
They had one good quarterback a couple years ago. That's about it. Another clean sweep. Austin's family takes Oregon. For game 10 here, we're going to switch it up. We're going to let Sammy pick last here because I'm hoping he's going to say one special thing as he makes his pick, after he makes his pick. But it is Nebraska at Colorado. I believe the spread is Colorado favored by 3 at this point. Game sold out already. Give me the Buffaloes. Matt, up to you.
I picked Colorado in the North Carolina podcast. I think it'll be close. Nebraska has a history of losing tight games lately, so I like Coach Prime in that one.
Hold on, Sam. We got to get Austin's pick first. Hold on. You wait your turn. Austin's before you. Austin's rolling with the Buffaloes as well, so we'll flip it to you, Sammy.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to say.
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm baffled
You're
right
terrible.
now.
It was after that post game speech. What'd he say?
Oh, give me my damn theme music. Prime time, baby. We're going prime. I'm sorry. I'm all in. I was all about the prime beforehand. I'm all in. Give me my theme music. Let's go, baby.
How could you even forget that part? God almighty. His theme music ready to. We ain't got no theme music on here. YouTube be to block me for playing some music. That was copyrighted, so we're not going to play Sammy's theme music. But we obviously need a tiebreaker here, and it is Texas at Alabama. Coach, I don't even know the over-under here. We can find out for you, though. The over-under for Texas, Bama, is 54. Austin is rolling with 55.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. I think we're going to go 61.
You know, I think there's going to be a lot of points. I think Bama puts it on them early. Texas trying to scramble back late. I'm going to go 65. 65 points.
I'm going under 51. 51 points.
Whoa. He goes low, Sammy goes high.
I mean,
watch out.
Well, we all going to pick like 54 and a half? See where we're at in here?
Well, you can't. We're not Vegas. We can't do that.
You know, I'm going to be a little upset. What time's that game? Is that night game?
I think it's 7:30. Yep.
I might have a chance. I'll be cruising back from old Shipyard. So, well, most of the PBR staff is laying around in their beds watching something else. I'll be out there grinding away at Shipyard, working, covering a good tournament down there. So,
I don't know about me laying in bed.
you'll be laying around watching your Tigers.
I might be walking like a zombie at that point in the day. I don't know yet. So, hey, that's going to wrap us up for 55 before we get too carried away right here. We have no clue what we're going to talk about on 56, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll have football pick'em week 3 coming up on 56, as well as a new guest picker. So from all of us here at PBR South Carolina, have a great week.